Friday night, inspiration, laughter, love, shining bright. Turn it up.
Subscribe to the Marcus Lee Stephenson Show today.
Thank you, thank you. Hey, we are here with Gail Cronauer. Did I pronounce that right?
Cronauer, that's
Cronauer,
right.
okay.
Yes,
we was
right.
debating that earlier. So I am honored to have her here. She is one of my great actors on the famous TV show Landman. So before we dive in, we just want to say thank you again for blessing us to be here.
Well, thank you for inviting me. I thought it was wonderful that we were able to meet at a fantastic event for the Denton Black Film Festival. And we struck up a conversation and we laughed a lot. And the next thing we know, I'm here. So that's great.
Cool. Now, what we're going to do first, because this is unscripted.
All right, here we go.
I like the unscripted. A little background about you. Where are you from?
So I'm from back east, truth be told.
Okay.
So born in Pennsylvania, grew up in New Jersey, and then I went off to school in Ohio.
Okay.
And at Antioch College, which was a real freak school in the 60s, and very involved with political activism and everything else that goes with it. And after graduating, just kept moving west. So I spent some time in Illinois, in St. Louis, in Green Bay, and then ended up in Dallas in 1979. So been here since then.
You went from the freezer to the cooler.
I did. And the first year that we were here, we had a Pinto, a brown Pinto, the Pinto bean, and we didn't have air conditioning in it. We didn't have air conditioning in our apartment because who has air conditioning in New Jersey? Yeah. It was so hot. I mean, it was unbelievable to me.
Wow, man. So let's talk about activism, because I have a list in my head.
Ah, okay. I got a list over here, too. So that's my sheets.
Talk to me about what got you into activism?
Well, as I said, I was thinking about what got me into it. So I'm a child of World War II parents and World War I grandparents. My grandparents, great-grandparents came over from the old country, from Austria-Hungary. They were coal miners and country folk in the north. Yeah. And when my grandfather served in the First World War, my dad in the Second, he was a welder. And because it was a defense job, he was not drafted and got so much stuff from his friends. He said, I'm going to be insubordinate, get myself fired, so that I can go out and enlist. So my dad enlisted and spent his time underwater repairing ships. He had one of those great big old-fashioned diving helmet things. So anyway, the Second World War was a huge part of the history of my father, my family, my mom. My mom worked in D.C. for a little bit for the Defense Department. And when I was a kid, it was a really patriotic time. I mean, we marched in parades, and I joined the Girl Scouts, and that was an important part of your life, being a citizen. Then I went to college, and it was in the 60s. And the 60s, well, I'm sure most of the viewers know, was a time of tremendous upheaval in this country. And I went to a school in Southwest Ohio that was a hotbed of liberal activism. I didn't know this, but I had friends who were dealing with draft issues. Do I leave the country? Do I protest? Do I burn my draft card? I mean, I went to D.C. and protested at the Pentagon in the midst of all of this. I was on campus when Kent State happened, and college students were shot by the National Guard. And my school shut down my senior year. So that was part of my history. And I was studying theater. And the first play I did was a play called Viet Rock by Megan Terry. And it was an anti-Vietnam War play. And we played soldiers, and we played Vietnamese peasants, and it was an amazing experience. At the end of the play, after we were all blown up, we
Yes.
all rose up and went out into the audience and touched people. And I had friends say, it changed my life. I became a theater major because you touched me,
yeah.
because you touched
that.
me in that show. So that was my background. So that was always there. And I think that going to grad school and being exposed to world literature made me aware of a larger picture. So that always stayed with me. And then there was a time in the 80s when I was very concerned with the disarmament movement because I had a colleague who was an activist. And as an actor, activist, I mean, you know,
It came together for you.
the two roles are so linked. And of course, there is a tradition of theater that is radical theater that's meant to change the world. So that's the history. They're the legs that I'm standing on.
Yes.
And that doesn't go away. Once that's in you, once that's in me, it doesn't go away.
Wow.
So now it's political activism. I have two kids, one who lives in New York, one who lives in the UK.
Okay.
And so I'm connected to a larger world than just here in Texas. And of course, living in Texas is challenging for so many of us.
Okay.
And I'm connected with a number of groups who are politically, socially active. And the challenge for me is, how do I blend my actor with my activist? And that's the thing that I continue to strive to do. I started to write a Substack, and it's called Dallas Day Player.
Okay.
And it's because there are so many people, especially young people, who are interested in getting into TV or into film.
Yes.
And it's like, okay, let me tell you. This is what the life of an actor is in Dallas, Texas. Now, I taught full-time for maybe 40-some years.
Okay.
And at various institutions. But I've seen a lot of young people go into the business. I've helped a lot of young people go into the business. But I've also seen a lot of people go, I want to be a star. You know, I want to be the person they're talking about on social media. And it's like, okay, let's get real about what it is to be a working actor. I'm a blue-collar person.
Yeah.
My dad was a carpenter, never graduated from elementary school.
Okay.
So it's all about doing the work. And the older I get, the more I found out it's also about finding the joy in that.
Yeah,
So
yeah, exactly.
That's the other thing to bring to it. So actor-activist, and I
Okay.
think that's where that came from.
Yeah. Do you like, I know you said theater. You like theater versus TV? Which I know, because sometimes, you know, you got, like, I know Denzel always talk about, he rather do theater because that's where you pull everything from you, you know, than
Well,
TV.
they're so
Yeah.
very different.
Yeah.
So with theater, it is an experience that's happening right here, right now, from 8 o'clock or 7:30, whenever, to 3 hours later. You have a live audience watching you.
Yeah.
You don't know if the actors are going to make it through the show. I mean,
Yeah.
somebody could die. I mean, that
Yeah,
happens.
just-
You never know how it's going to work out. When you watch a film or TV, you go, yeah, people are going to get blown up, but
Yeah.
it's a final edit.
Yeah.
So you know that nobody's going to die tonight. So that immediacy of theater is so, it's addictive. And it takes you to an edge, a precipice of what it is you can do, what it is you can share with other human beings. So that's an amazing experience. Plus, you get to work on it, like
Yeah.
Denzel has,
Yeah.
for weeks in rehearsal with people So you're working with designers, director, other actors. It's a company. It's a family.
Yeah.
And then you birth this show,
in
and
front
the
of that
audience
audience.
comes and goes, whoa,
Yeah.
hopefully, whoa,
Yeah.
that was great. You know,
Yeah, that's
so
the key.
it's amazing. It's exhausting. And I always experience it at the end of a show. I just wanted to go home and take a nap
Yeah.
and sleep for a long time and
Yeah.
recover. No, it wears you out. But on film, I mean, there are demanding locations, you know, where you have to work and it's too hot and it's too cold. It's never comfortable on a set.
yeah.
But the way it's shot is so different. It's you might be in front of the camera for 15 minutes a day, or you might have a really long day.
Yeah.
But it's also not in order. So today you're shooting the end of the story, the episode. Tomorrow you're shooting the beginning. Now with something like Landman, we're cross-boarding. So they're shooting several episodes at the same time.
Oh, wow.
Because of availability of actors,
Okay.
availability of locations, the weather.
The weather.
Oh, we have hurricanes coming or tornadoes coming. We can't do that.
Yeah.
So it's a very, very different kind of a thing. What I love about that is the amazing experience of having all of these people, all of the people behind the camera as well as in front of the camera, focused on doing this right here, right now.
Yeah.
And that intense focus is thrilling. It's just thrilling.
Wow.
So,
Now, how did your kids feel about when mom started acting?
so my kids, when I came to Texas in 1979, I had a 2-year-old son.
Okay.
And when he was born, I was teaching in Green Bay.
Okay.
I had a crib in my office. So he
wow.
would come to work with me, and a student would come and sit with him while I wasn't teaching. So they grew up around theater.
Oh, okay.
When Adam was 2, he was the changeling boy in A Midsummer Night's Dream, the first show that was done at SMU when I was teaching there. So they were around that all the time. Their babysitters were theater kids. They were hanging out in the green room. They took drama classes. But neither of them were really interested in acting.
Oh,
They
yeah.
had different things. My oldest son is a dancer and now choreographer. And my youngest son, he acted, but he loves to work with his hands. So he builds sets and does sound and does lights, and he teaches high school right now. So he is the adult that every high school student should have as
Wow.
part of their team.
I like that.
You know, he's the guy that, you know, oh, Mr. Hogan, can we come and hang out with you? Or you never say anything nasty about me. You don't tell me that I'm, you
Yeah.
know, I'm too fat or too this or too that. You're so accepting. That's what he is.
Wow,
So.
that's amazing. I know when my and we shared this story off camera. I used to do a little acting and stuff.
Right, yes.
And with my youngest daughter, Madison, she would always want to play the reporter. I had my big camera. She was like 3. She get the mic. This is Madison.
Oh, so
coming
you
to-
do
to
little
the-"
newscasts.
Yeah, yeah. She was.
love
I looked at her like, wow. And
love
so
that.
I have five kids. Mm-hmm. So her and my son Trey, only ones that pretty much not camera shy. The other ones be like, you know.
yeah.
But it's amazing. But to them, no matter what I do, they say dad. A father when they want something. Hey, father. I'm like, uh-oh. I'm like, tighten up my wallet, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but
Yeah.
that's the thing that I like about when actors have children. I always want to know, how do your children feel? You know, do they see you as, oh, everybody else see you as like, oh, I'll take it.
No.
Hey, mom.
No, they don't. It's like, oh, my mom's an actor. Every once in a while, my youngest son will, you know, be proud and he'll post something. Or he does trivia in New York. He's a
Oh.
trivia master.
Okay.
And so he did one evening of trivia that was based on my career, which I thought was so cool.
Wow.
It was movies I'd been in, you
Yeah.
know, plays that I'd done. So I thought that was really great. My other son, because he's a dancer, was like, oh, my mom. Maybe on some level he's proud, but it's just my mom. That's,
Yeah.
you know. And when my I would go off to do shows, and I meant I was gone a lot.
Yeah.
Gone a lot in the evening. My oldest son would run from the driveway to the corner, which was like three houses away by the car.
Yeah.
And he would stop at the corner, and he would give me a kiss and a hug and a rock. True. So I had a dashboard filled with rocks that he gave me. So that was our little ritual. That was the way that he.
Do he still collect rocks?
No, I don't think so. No, he's living in England right now. He will be back working in the state in Louisville at some point this year.
Okay.
So most of his career was in this country.
Cool.
No.
Let your fans know what other movies that you have been in. Then we're gonna dive into Landman.
Okay, all right. So one of the first big films that I was in was JFK.
Oh wow.
And that goes back,
Yeah.
right? And that was as Oliver Stone, and I'd done a very small role in Born on the 4th of July. Tom Cruise played the
I remember that
returning.
movie.
So I was somebody who cried the whole time, But so then I came into audition for JFK, and the first audition, Oliver Stone was hung up on location, and so they sent everybody away because they didn't get there. So I had to come back, and I did an initial audition, and then they said, "Oh, but for the callback, you have to speak Russian." So I went to the library, and I got those little language tapes you could get, like in little cassette, and I learned "Do svidaniya," a couple of phrases.
Yeah.
So I go into the audition, and Oliver Stone says, "So you can speak Russian?" So I went, "La, la, 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 la." They went, "Oh," and they cast me. So I played the woman that Lee and Marina were staying with at the time of the assassination. So it was a thrill because I had never been on a movie set that was that large. It was little bits and pieces here and there, but working with some amazing actors, and Oliver Stone was such a personality. So that was my first big thing.
Okay.
And then there were, just a number of local films, and there was a time when a lot of TV movies were being made, especially in Austin. And I worked on several of those. And they were just wonderful. They were very often about, family issues. But then sometimes they were about pioneer type. So I played pioneer women. Sometimes I think because I was just small enough to fit into the costumes because they were real authentic period clothing. But I was in a thing called The Newton Boys with Matthew McConaughey, Ethan Hawke, Vincent D'Onofrio. They were my sons. I was Ma Newton. So that was a thrill to do. And at the time, I was doing a play at the theater center. So I was...
While you was working that?
They were flying me down there to rehearse during the day, and then I'd fly home to do the show in the evening. This was like an actor's dream.
Wow.
And that's only happened a couple of times.
Were you sleeping on a plane?
But it
You
was
rested?
probably. But that was incredible to work with those men at the beginning of their career. And Rick Linklater, the director, Linklater, that was at the beginning of his career too, pretty much. So that was fantastic.
That's
And then there's a great flick, which I hope some of your viewers will watch, called The Vast of Night.
Okay.
The Vast of Night. And it was a first-time filmmaker. He had done a lot of video production. Andrew Patterson did this sci-fi film, an homage to Twilight Zone, and it has an amazing cast, a couple of amazing young actors in it, about a small town, kind of like Roswell, where there's weird things going on. And there's a woman there who's kind of reclusive and weird, this was me, who has a story about her son being abducted when he was a child. So she's the key to what might be going on in the story. And I have this amazing monologue that like goes on for, pages and pages and pages, revealing the story. And that was fantastic to work on. And then there were a couple of things coming up that I'm really excited about. I worked on a film called The Senior, and you said, did you tell me you talked with Mike Chiklis? Yeah. That was great fun. I played Mike's mom. Yeah. And then there's a film called Pendulum that we shot in New Mexico this last year. Okay. And it's set in, is it 70s or 80s? But it's in an earlier decade. And this young couple loses a child. And the woman is severely depressed, so they go to a weekend kind of spiritual healing event, and strange things happen. And I'm one of the people who is there being an acolyte to the woman who runs this. So it's kind of sci-fi, not really horror, but it gets kind of weird at times. So that'll be coming up.
Okay. So how would these actors, wannabe actors, trying to get in acting, how do you prepare for an audition? How could you let them know how to prepare for an audition?
Well, it's interesting because everybody has a different way of preparing. And of course, when you've worked for as many years as I have, there are things that you've tried and you go, no, I don't need that anymore. Yeah. So I think when you're young, at the beginning of your career, it's really important to get some fundamental training about the process, what is acting, but also what is it that you're being asked to do if you audition for stage or if you audition for camera. Yeah. Because auditioning for camera, for the screen, so often they will say, don't act. Well, what they want is someone who is the wonderful you who exists when you walk in the room. Truth be told, every one of us has one amazing performance in us. If we can just find the right script, the right director, the right cast, some people do and some people don't. Yeah. Once you begin to work, you find ways to perhaps keep doing what you've done that worked for you. This is what typecasting is all about. You always seem the same. Yeah, but it's working and people love it, so keep doing it.
Keep it up.
And for other people, it's the act of transformation. How do I transform myself? Because when people watch an actor transform, it's like, oh, whoa, if you can transform, maybe I can too. Whether it's to the good or to the bad, that I am capable of change because you've just showed me that someone is capable of change. So anyway, I think it's important to get some rudimentary classes so you can find out, okay, where am I going to look? Am I going to look in the camera? Probably not. To the side of the camera? Am I going to have a person there that I can react to? If the camera, when you're playing on stage, you're playing to an audience of many. Yes. When you're on screen, you're playing to an audience of maybe one, the camera or that one other person, or maybe to an audience of, that's 2 or 3 imagined people in the room. So there were certain things you can go, oh, I never thought about that.
Yeah.
Exactly. And you can get some of that stuff reading a really good book about it, but it pays to take a workshop just to get the fundamentals.
Exactly.
I believe that people need to continue to train. That is, to look for ways to expand your toolkit. Okay. So that you have, if you're in the computer business or you're in any business, you're looking for what tools do I have that can help me do what I do better.
True.
And I'm a certified Michael Chekhov technique instructor. Okay. And Michael Chekhov technique was a rock star actor back in Stanislavski's days and had kind of a weird career, but he had a real spiritual component to his work, which I think these days is really, really appealing and very helpful to us as actors.
Yeah.
But he's also very practical. You know, what we're trying to do is be inspired as actors. But if you don't feel inspired, then what are the tools you can use that are on this chart to help you be inspired? So it's like, my blue-collar actor self really loves that.
Yeah.
But a character can be a thinker, a character can be a feeler, a character can be a will-force character. And that you can engage different parts of yourself, your face, your hands, the thinker, the feeler, the willer, you know, your whole body to transform you and tell a different story, create a different character. So for me, the more you know, the more things you can use, or the more you can say, I don't need that anymore.
Yeah.
You know, but text is really important to me. Words are really important to me. And as an actor, I've done a lot of voice and speech classes. I've done a lot of Shakespeare, and there's stuff there that's really useful. And you know, some of it is like, I don't need that, but there's an awful lot of it that's very, very helpful. So I encourage people to try some Shakespeare too. See what there is to learn from that. Again, it's just another tool in your toolkit.
Okay.
So
Cool.
I don't know if that answered your question.
It actually did. It did.
Yeah.
We're gonna take a commercial, but when we come back, we're gonna talk about actors that you want to work with that you haven't worked with.
Okay.
Then we're gonna just get into that Landman.
Okay.
There are moments that define a year and nights that define a legacy. On April 25th, 2026, the red carpet leads to something greater. Welcome to the reinvented Awards Gala, a night of purpose, community, and celebration. Join us in Arlington, Texas, as we honor some extraordinary individuals who made a powerful impact in their communities during 2025. Hosted by the legendary Vicki Winans, this elegant evening brings together leaders, visionaries, and changemakers for a night you will never forget. From powerful stories to unforgettable moments, the Reinvented Awards Gala is more than an event, it's a movement. Tickets are on sale now. Don't wait. You don't want to miss this gala. Visit www.marcusleestephenson.com and secure your tickets today. The Reinvented Awards Gala, because transformation deserves to be celebrated.
We are back, and again, we finna talk about some Landman stuff and some actors that you want to work with, hadn't worked with, but you just never know in this land of vision. So let's talk.
Well, that's interesting because you sent that to me in an email, and I think what's fascinating to me is to come onto a set and not know this person and discover who he or she or they are, as well as who you are in relation to this person. So as an actor, there are certain things that are golden rules, like saying yes.
Yeah.
You know, if someone says something to you or brings something into a scene, you accept that. You don't go, that's stupid, that's dumb, don't do that.
Yeah.
You say yes to it and then find a way to grow, build upon it. You know, and that happens when you're doing improv and when you're working with people that you don't really know. So I don't know that I have people that I'm really dying to work with. I just want to keep working because I feel that I have a lot to discover yet about acting and about myself as an actor, about myself as a person. So every time that I do an audition, or every time that because when I audition, it's my boyfriend, my partner, who is there reading off camera with me. He's in the studio tonight. Yeah. And oftentimes I don't even see him because he's standing over to the side. But as an actor doing monologues for stage, you train to work with an imagined person there. Who can be a real person or an imaginary person. Now, when you're working with a person on a set or on stage, you want to use the real person because it's different.
Yes,
But sometimes you don't have that real person. But to open yourself up to whatever that person has to send to you, give to you, share with you is an amazing thing. And it's something you've never experienced before. And that moment of surprise is what people love. Casting directors love it, audience loves it, actors love it. So I don't really have a particular person that I'm dying to work with, because you see people's performances and you go, oh my God, that person is so wonderful. Jesse Clemens, he'd be so great to work with. Emma Stone, oh my God, she's fantastic. Helen Mirren. But you don't know these people in person. You know, you don't know who they are. So when you come to a set, you come with a sense of openness, because you need for that person to fall in love with you, to fall in love with what you bring to it. So that requires that you fall in love. And I don't mean romantically, or I mean this is an act of love.
And that character.
Here right now for me to open myself to you. And in the Chekhov work, we talk about falling in love with the problem, or falling in love with a space. You go into an audition, it's terrifying. Make friends with this space. What is it to make friends with this studio, with this guy in these weird pants? What is it to go, oh my God, this is my friend Marcus wearing those weird pants, as opposed to, oh my God, I don't really know about this guy over there. So that sense of my teacher, my master teacher, was stuck in the airport the other day, and she in Boston, and just couldn't get home. And she said, she shot a video and said, I'm just here embracing the beauty of this, you know? And it's like, that shift in attitude in how you frame something is so powerful. You know? And that's important for us as actors, because sometimes we're doing stuff that's really difficult or unsettling or whatever, and to be able to go, it's over, it's done. Bryan Cranston talked about, you know, somebody said, so how did you get rid of that character from Breaking Bad? He said, I'd go into the makeup trailer and I'd put a hot towel on my face and just let it soak off the makeup. And when I took away the hot towel, the character was gone. And I went, we need to find those kinds of rituals, those kinds of things that can heal us or save us, you know, or remind us how much we love doing what we do, and that we can have a wonderful life as well as do this crazy acting stuff.
So you're not bringing the character home.
No, that's, you know, that can be very dangerous. And you hear stories about Daniel Day-Lewis, he had to be Abraham Lincoln for months and months and months. It's like, I don't, do you really have to do that? You know, I don't know.
Wow. What's your, I don't know if you have a favorite, because all of mine are my favorite. What would you say your favorite scene in Landman?
Oh, well, so there's a lot there's a lot of press. There are a lot of little star interviews that are being put out about the show. So Landman P+, Landman, P, is that P+, Landman P+ or whatever. So you can check that out. But it's so interesting. There was an interview with Ali Larter, who plays Billy Bob Thornton's wife, Angela.
She's funny.
And she's a hoot, and I'm enjoying her more. I mean, initially she was like just a lot to take, but I'm enjoying her, the character I'm talking about.
She's a Jersey girl too.
Yeah, and she said, somebody said, so what's your favorite location? And she and Michelle Randolph, who plays her daughter, said, the old folks' home. So when they come to Western Skies, and they work with us, they call us the classics, not those two women, but the set, the PAs call us the classics, and there were 6 of us who are residents of that, and we get to just be irreverent and wacky and wonderful, because it's as if it's our last day on Earth, and it could be. So I mean, you just never know.
The moments.
And they've done such wonderful things with us. We've had these, you know, put on funny hats and masks and drunk and played cards and gone bowling and gone to a strip club and gone to the casino. So, I mean, we've done so many wonderful things. We went bowling, and it was so much fun because I thought, okay, so if I'm an old person, how would I be doing this? And it's like I would roll the ball between my legs. And old people, you wear your purse not over your shoulder, you put it in front of it so it hangs down between your legs like this, so you know where it is. So it's just so much fun to be drawing upon women that I've seen, people that I've known, or people that if it were me, this is what I would do. Because right now it is. So.
Do they embody you to ad-lib a bit?
Well, Taylor is very particular about his script. And I've heard people say he's very, very particular that the lines get out. So there are certain, where there is scripted dialogue, it's got to be spoken. But there are times when, and then the director, Stephen Kay, that we've worked with on 2 seasons, is just fantastic. And he's so supportive, and he's like, well, what would you be doing here? Go ahead and do this or whatever. And, for me, because of what our function is, our function is to bring some levity and humanity to those 2 women and to old people all around the world. And to deal with transformation. When Angela first comes in there, we're all depressed. And then gradually we become vital and enjoy life and laugh. So finding ways that we might do that, I mean, that's encouraged to a degree. And when it's too much, we're told, it's too much. Well, no, we need to hear the lines. But in a way that's so considerate, so kind. I mean, he's just a wonderful person to work with. And Ali Larder and Michelle Randolph have been great too, because we're fun to be around, because we just get to be goofy and say and do things that other people would like to say and do, but probably won't.
I watched every episode, season 1 and 2, and now I get to the point on Saturday night by 11 o'clock. It's on because the midnight is somewhere else.
That's right. Yes.
So I'm up on Saturday
good.
nights like, what time is it? Okay, it's on. Then I'm like, okay.
So what is it that you like about the show?
I like it. Well, who's not a Billy Bob fan, right? So
I'll give you that.
And sometime I watch it. I said, I don't know if he's acting. He's just him. It come across. I mean, all of you people, all you guys, they just like, it's not acting to me. It's like when you guys are in the van going to the casino.
Oh, right.
That was hilarious. That was next thing y'all sleep. I just like I could see that. So it's like I take out acting from every time I watch the show. It's like these are people that I know. These are the people just every day from every scene. So I give it to the whole team because I've seen some shows where you can tell it's too much acting and not just being the character. So I give it to however y'all, I don't know if y'all rehearsed during, before, or whatever, but it's just the chemistry is just there.
It moves pretty quickly. Well, now we have been together as a group, the 6 of us, for 2 seasons. And we're getting older, and some of the members are dealing with health issues. So we just went to Pablo, owns a Mexican restaurant in Red Oak. So we all, minus 2, went to Pablo's restaurant, Amaya's, for a post-holiday meal. And it was just lovely to be there, to enter into his world, and for it to feel comfortable, and this is what we do, and these are our friends. So that's a real, I haven't experienced that working on most shows, because you're just kind of, you shoot the episode and you're out.
Leave.
You have 1 episode this season and then you're gone. But we've been together for 2 years now.
That's amazing.
So that's been really nice.
Landman got nominated, right?
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
We're gonna talk
Thank
about
you for
that
bringing
now.
that up.
Yes, please.
So,
How did you feel when you heard that? I know how I felt. I'm not even on the show.
This is interesting because it's kind of like, we were watching Indiana win the national championship last night. It was like, whoa, all these people from Indiana are so thrilled. But I think that's how people feel. A lot of people feel that about Landman.
Yeah.
It's like our show.
Yeah.
It's a Western, but not. It's a soap opera, but not. It's a family drama, but not. So it's, it's so many things. Anyway, the Screen Actors Guild, SAG-AFTRA, which is the union of stage and screen actors, and a lot stunt people and all kinds of other people too, has annual awards, and it used to be called the SAG Awards. This year it's called the Actor Awards. Wow. It's got a new name. There is a broadcast of it coming up in early March. And they do nominations. And then when the nominations come out, if you're a paid-up member, you get all of these streaming codes so you can watch everything. So Landman did not do well in the award season last year. And it was like, what's going on?
Yeah.
None of Taylor Sheridan's shows were being nominated for things, or his actors. So this year, when the Actor Awards came out, they have a best. These are only for actors. And they are selected by actors, they're voted on by actors, and the actors are awarded. So it's best ensemble in a drama series. And there's Landman. And I went, this is fantastic. It lists the principal people, and the classics aren't listed, but it's like, I don't care. I'm working in the show. And I have had more people say to me, oh, Gail, I saw you on Landman. I had to watch the credits to make sure it was you. And people that I knew from years ago.
Wow.
So it's been fun just to have people say, I love the show. And for me, the show is, you're right, Billy Bob Thornton is, he's the soul of the show. Yeah. He's so, he's obviously stressed, but he just deals with things the way a lot of us wish we could. Yeah. Whether it's with his words or with his actions. Sometimes gets a little violent. Yeah. But he's just amazing as a person. It's like, why is Angela with this guy? My God, he's just like, he's the calm in the world that is her storm. And there's something in that show for everyone. Yeah. No matter what you're looking for, comedy, drama, pathos, whatever, there's something for everyone.
Because that last, well, not the last episode, the one before that, when it was in New Orleans, and Cammie asked him, she said, so he was like, well, for a president, I need more. And I was like, she fired up, and I could see that. She feeling fired. She flew him way out there to fire. And he was just like, he's gonna put my plan together. Yeah. But I just then last week I was like,
It's like, how is this? Oh, what's going to happen? And I thought, he's going to get together with his son. And then now they have his dad. Now Sam Elliott is there. Ooh. So we have 3 generations. It's like, whoa.
And who is not a Sam Elliott fan?
Oh, man,
from
that
the
mustache.
Western days. when they brought him on, I was like, they was just showing the trailer. I said, they bring Sam Elliott on there.
Yep.
I was like, I got to make sure I ain't had nothing on my table. I just... I wanted to see it, but from the writers and everybody, how they conceptually just put that together, and it makes sense. Sometimes you trying to figure it out, but you don't have to figure it out because they're gonna surprise you. This and that, and I love the mystiqueness about it too, because it keeps everybody then they go off like, okay, I can't wait for the next.
But they're not, and Jim and I were talking about this. They're not these, the music swells and there's a cliffhanger. Yeah. It's like, it's just like in life, Yeah. You just don't know, and you walk around the corner, and it's like he says, "Come on, God, hit me with it." Oh, here we go, and it hits you. Or like when he survived that pileup on the highway. Yes. It was like, okay, that was your answer.
I was like this, like, I said, you don't want to play with that. Be about then like in that 18-wheeler came. I said, I know. I did this. I said, okay. He tell you, he let you know who he is now. He can do what he need to do when he need to do
That's
it.
right. That's right. You got it.
Bill Bob get out and curse him out. Really? Like, come on, man. You know. Well, Tommy,
man.
yeah. So it's amazing. Again, we're just grateful that you had a opportunity to come here out of your busy schedule. That's love. You
Well,
know?
I'm so excited about what's happening in this whole DFW, North Texas, whole state of Texas area right now. That, you know, as a state we have our issues, but there is so much talent here, and I think finally commitment to really making the work happen. So I'm happy for all of us. I'm happy to be here with what you're doing and with what I'm doing, and let's keep it growing.
Definitely, and we're gonna definitely get you back on here. Let your fans know how to get in touch with you. For the ones who don't follow you, let them know how to follow you.
Okay, so there's my name, Gail Cronauer, and I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I'm on TikTok occasionally. I'm on Threads. I'm everywhere. I'm on IMDb.
Yes.
But it's usually just my name at Gail Cronauer. Hashtag Gail Cronauer. So.
I love that sweater you got on that picture. I mean, that's like a shawl thing.
Right. Yeah. And that was my kind of prairie mom look.
Yeah,
I had a headshot session, so
okay.
I mean, I've got one with a red leather coat and spiked up hair, so it's like, oh my God! But that's grandma.
Yes, indeed. So, what else you got going on that's coming up that your fans want to know?
Well, let's see what else is going. Well, I'm waiting on the release of a couple of films. So, I mean, I mentioned Pendulum, which was written and directed by the man who did co-author of The Black Swan.
Okay.
So he's got some great credentials. I worked on a show called I've Always Hated My Brother, which was a film that came out of somebody who teaches at Baylor, and I shot that right after Landman.
Okay.
And I have a fantastic scene in that. And then Arthur Mohammed, who is a local filmmaker, did a feature called Shift Happens. And he and his wife, in addition to all the video work and TV work they do, they have a driving school. So it's based on some of the experiences his wife has had here. It was shot in Arlington. So there's great stuff happening here. And then it's after the first of the year, so the auditions are picking up. So I had to really, everything now, most everything is self-tape. So you have a little room in your house, or you pay somebody to do it, and you tape it and you send it off.
Yeah.
And, you know, I've booked a lot of work from that, and
good.
I hope there's more. And we're going into a new contract for SAG-AFTRA, and I'm going to be very involved in that process.
Oh, that's good.
That's taking me out to LA next week.
That's needed. Yeah, one thing about Texas, we have a lot of good actors. I have some friends like Glenn Morshaw, and you know, I've been knowing him 20 years.
He's been around a long time,
20
right?
years plus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kevin Sorbo used to play Tarzan and everything.
Oh God, I played his mom.
Oh, did you?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
So there's a two Walking Tall, another Walking
another
Tall,
one,
1 and 2, and I play his mom in both of those films
yeah.
that we shot here in Texas.
I met him like 15 years ago. It's so many, you know, I'll be here all day. But it's amazing that they live here and you see them, they just, hey, how you doing? What's up? You know, so
They got to have a life too.
Exactly. And they are, I love them that they're family people. You know, and that's important, you know.
Well, I think that's one of the reasons that people often come to Texas, whether it's Austin or it's Denton or Fort Worth or it's Dallas, because it's easier to have a life here. It's more affordable to have a life here. And if you don't have a life to draw upon, you're empty.
Yeah.
So that's important.
So I pray that they will have season 3.
Oh, well, it's been announced that it will happen.
Good.
And our last day on the set, the director said, see you next season. So I'm hopeful.
Yes, man.
I'm
just amazing to see what the writers are going to bring from now with the TTC.
Right.
Yeah. Was it CTT or
Yeah,
CT1?
And cattle. So it's
And
right,
cattle.
yeah.
That was the party.
C
Yeah.
CTT
And cattle.
oil and cattle.
Yeah.
Right.
And Sam was like, "What's the cattle?" I don't know. It just sounded good.
I had to come up with something that nobody else would try to get the jumps on.
I laugh, but yeah, again, we are grateful that you are here.
Thank you for
and,
inviting me. This was great fun.
To my fans, to yours, y'all just follow her. She's just amazing. Amazing. So, and she gonna come back. So yeah, she's in Texas, so she gonna come back. Y'all heard it here. Season 3 is coming. So, everybody be blessed, and we are out. And everybody enjoy.
And relax.
Yes, and relax.